Did you watch the presidential debate?
Yeah. I didn't watch. I watched. I think 10 minutes past the debate, and then I watched it. I think it started like 8. I got in about 8:10, and I watched everything. When they said they were about to do closing arguments, I stopped watching. So I watched the main like argument part.
How do you think it went?
I think it went bad for Trump. I wouldn't say Harris did like good. I just think more Trump did bad. The stuff he said about like the dogs and the cats meat in Springfield, I think that was insane. I think his like hesitance to answer, questions about abortion ban looked bad on him. Of course, Harris did some of that stuff too. Harris's answer about like saying like there's no like Harris's answer about saying like there's no active combatants in like an active war zone or something along those lines. I thought that was pretty stupid. I don't know why she said that. Overall, I feel like Trump didn't do well. And, it seems like in the polls it's reflected that. It seems like Harris has been doing better. So yeah.
What issues matter most to you?
Right now, I get social issues. I have a lot of conversations with my dad. I don't have a job as of right now, but so I guess social issues are what matters to me the most. A lot of times I see the Republican Party pushing, stuff like anti-transgender legislation or like legislation that could be construed as racist or like ideas such as the cats and dogs thing that Trump said that I personally construe as racist. Those are the issues that matter to me the most, almost because it's almost like common sense. Like I feel like they're put like when Arkansas, I think there's a law that like even if you're an adult, you can't like change your pronouns or gender on your driver's license, even if you're an adult, like even if you're over 18. And I think that's just like blatantly transphobic. And I think that's not even like politics. So that those kind of social issues matter to me the most because it almost seems like why are we being like transphobic or racist? Like it doesn't seem to be politics.
Would you say you're more libertarian in that venue?
Social issues, I'm very libertarian. I don't call myself libertarian because generally I feel like the national government should have more control to protect those kind of like social issues, like Roe v. Wade the overturning of Roe v. Wade returned like the issue of abortion to the states, and I feel like that has been bad for abortion rights. So I generally call myself libertarian like socially, but as far as comes what the government needs to do, I wouldn't call myself libertarian.
Gotcha. What issues do you think each candidate do the best on? From your opinion.
From my opinion,
or speak to you the most on.
Yeah. So the Democrats, I guess, social issues. I think they often aren't pushing like blatantly racist or transphobic or homophobic laws. The Republicans, honestly, if I had to say anything, I would say I'm a fan of the idea of they're more libertarian in the idea of like protecting free speech, and that's something I generally agree with, like the idea of protecting free speech. So I guess how do I phrase this? I would say the Republicans generally care more about Democrats when it comes to like certain rights such as free speech, and I think they do that a little better.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Are you registered to vote?
I am. I registered when I'm 18, and when I turned 18, I was registered to vote like when I got my driver's license. So.
Gotcha. How do you feel that current foreign policy is going?
I think main foreign policy issue I think about is the war in Gaza and Israel, and I think both candidates are doing a pretty horrible job when it comes to that. I personally think, what Israel is doing to Gaza is a genocide. I think it needs to be stopped pretty much immediately. And I think both candidates aren't doing great. I mean, Kamala Harris, like there was a thing that came out a few months ago where she was talking to there were these people protesting that, the war in Gaza is genocide. Kamala Harris didn't do enough or hasn't talk about doing enough to stop it, and she like talked down them in a way that really made me angry. So that's the main foreign policy issue. I feel like both candidates, if I had to choose, Kamala Harris is like marginally better, but I think they're both, when it comes to that, both pretty bad. When it comes to stuff like the war in Ukraine, I think the Democrats are generally better because, you know, a lot of Republicans seem to talk about we're sending too much money over there, but I think a lot of the stuff we're sending, you know, is very good. Is a lot of like the stuff we're sending, you know, is worthwhile because, you know, like it made me think of like in World War II when, you know, Hitler invaded, I think, Czechoslovakia, and the British government didn't really do anything to stop that.
Appeasement, right?
What?
Appeasement.
Yeah, appeasement, and it seems like we're trying really not to do that. And, you know, it means, you know, like the war in Ukraine for Russia has been kind of like a disaster, and I feel like that's very good, you know, to deter like the Taiwan thing. Like China has been looking to invade Taiwan ever since Taiwan has become a country. So, and I think what the Democrats have done in Ukraine has done some effect in making sure China does not want to invade Taiwan because it's gone so bad for Russia, sort of a similar scenario.
Gotcha. I got, I guess, 2 questions that'll come out of that. So what kind of policy change would you like to see in regards to the Israel-Gaza conflict?
I kind of have high expectations for that. Like, if I was completely in control, I would say, like, stop sending any sort of support to Israel. We need to more focus on a ceasefire and even, like, repercussions for a lot of stuff that Israel's been doing. Because a lot of focus on, like, the stuff that Hamas has been doing, which is obviously horrible. But it seems like there's not a lot of focus on all the horrible stuff Israel has been doing. You know, a lot of civilians have died. A lot of journalists have died. So I feel like there should be more punishment to people like Netanyahu, and also just general, at least stop sending, you know, any support to Israel and try to make sure those just the war comes to an end as quick as possible.
I gotcha. And then in regards to Ukraine, how do you see that war ending?
I'm not sure. You know, I think my best hope is that at some point Russia just pulls out. The rest stuff has been scaring me. Like, I think there was reports that Russia was changing its nuclear policy, which made me think, you know, they might be willing to use nukes in that region, which is obviously horrifying. I hope, basically, you asked me how I hope that ends, right? But yeah, my hope is that Russia we keep sending money to Ukraine, and at one point Russia just realizes it's a lost cause and just pulls out. I think that's a little too hopeful, and realistically, I don't think that's how it would end, but that's my hope.
Gotcha. We'll say we got 2 more questions real fast. First question, how cold are you right now?
I'm kind of cold. I should probably go grab a jacket.
It's very windy. And then we'll close out. Where do you get your news from? And then how often do you check that source?
I get really, as far as now, I get my news from New York Times because if I was a New York student, you can get like free access to the New York Times. So I get a lot of emails from them. That's where I mainly check. I kind of just generally check anywhere. I have some sources I don't trust, like Fox News. I don't generally trust them. I just kind of go about things when I hear about something. It's from a source I don't know. Usually I check it out and I try to see if it's accurate. If it's from a source I trust, I generally take it at face value unless I find it unbelievable in some sort of way.
Gotcha. Awesome. Thank you very much. Wow. I guess I lied. One more question.
Oh, that's fine.
Have you heard the Eating the Dogs remix?
I think I have. I've seen a few. They're pretty funny.
They are pretty funny. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.